It's officially official. The Broncos have a new play caller. Sean Payton. It is announced that he will be giving up play calling to Davis Webb for the upcoming season. Now, this is pretty monumental because Sean Payton has always been the play caller. Chase Daniels, who was a quarterback who worked with Sean Payton for a while, talked about how Sean Payton operates, it's unbelievable that he'd give up play calling. And that's all you need to know about Davis Webb. Davis Webb, this is a guy, didn't have much of a football career. I mean, he went to the NFL, so I shouldn't say much of a football career. He had much more of a football career than I ever had or ever will, and more than you ever have or ever will. So don't talk badly about him. But Davis Webb, albeit an NFL player, was not an excellent NFL player. Now he goes into coaching and becomes the offensive coordinator for a team that just went to the AFC Championship game in year 3. This is incredible after having head coach interviews. This is a hot commodity when it comes to coaching. But let me just emphasize how impressive, how insane this is that Sean Payton would give up play calling. Now, this was telegraphed a little bit. We did all think this was coming, especially after Davis Webb got the offensive coordinating job, didn't take any of the head coaching or offensive coordinating jobs elsewhere, and Sean Payton gave him play calling duties in the preseason. Now, it is preseason. He did do a good job, but that doesn't really matter, does it? No, it doesn't matter. Chad Kelly was good in the preseason, and where was he? Hitting people over the head with vacuums in their living room, allegedly. But Sean Payton gave it up to Davis Webb. Now, this is important because Sean Payton's never given up. Let me show you Sean Payton's career as a coach. All right, so this is his coaching career. So you can see all the teams he's coached for. See all of these from 2000 to 2025. He did not give up play calling unless he had a broken leg or was suspended from the league. If you might not be up on your news, but neither of those happened this year. He's doing this out of his free will. He's choosing to give this man right here, this man, the play call. Now, this is a picture of him from his game that he called the plays in the preseason. Did a good job. Now, Davis Webb obviously played with the Giants. Interestingly enough, worked with Brian Daboll, who was a pretty successful offensive coordinator. Head coaching resume is a little bit iffy, but widely known as a pretty good coordinator. Now, what does this mean for the Broncos? All right, I already talked about that. I've jabbed too much. Obviously, there's going to be some changes. We don't really know what Davis Webb's offense is going to look like when it comes to how different from Sean Payton's. I don't think it's going to be all that much different. What I do think might be interesting, how much more does he unleash Bo Nix? You have a young play caller. You have a young quarterback. This could be electric, or it could be terrible. I'm rooting for electric, but Sean Payton. I mean, there we go. Now you can see it. Sean Payton, Davis Webb, they've obviously worked closely this last few seasons, and the offense is taking strides. The thing is, I've been concerned with from the beginning is there is a post-bye week Bo Nix, there's a pre-bye week Bo Nix. Can Davis Webb fix that problem? Also for Sean Payton, how does he transition from being an every down play caller to a game manager role as a head coach? How will, that's something that I've had criticisms of at times, is his game management. Not as bad as Nathaniel Hackett, so I guess the bar is pretty low. The bar is basically on the floor. But Davis Webb, how is he going to operate on a week-to-week basis? From what we've seen, I think he's going to be fairly aggressive. One thing I'd like to see him do is get the running game going. Can he bring maybe some of that Daboll influence? Get the running game going on the ground. I thought that Sean Payton struggled with this last season outside of J.K. Dobbins. Now, is that a personnel issue? Possibly. Now, it's been floated by some people I know that Tyler Algier might be a guy to bring in the backfield. I would like that. I think overall Davis Webb is actually going to be a nice, fresh breath of fresh air into this offense that was good at times. It's at times. We need more consistency from the offense. And let's not take much from the AFC Championship game. That was Jared's. I'm not going to take much of that. The offense was good down the stretch. It needs to be good earlier in the season. Needs to be good pre-bye week. And that's going to be up to Davis Webb. Now, for Davis Webb, this is a chance for him. Unfortunately, I feel like this is kind of a one-and-done situation for the Broncos coordinating-wise. Is how long is Davis Webb going to stick around if he does a good job with Bo Nix this season? He was already getting serious head coaching interviews from Buffalo, from the Raiders. The Raiders aren't serious, but the Raiders, you know, what does that mean for him? I would imagine he gets the head coaching job next season if this goes well. So does Sean Payton just go right back into play calling? If that's the case, is this just like a favor to Davis Webb, or does he genuinely think this is going to make the team better? I mean, I'd assume it's going to make the team better. I don't imagine Sean Payton would make a decision that would make this team worse on purpose. But it is one interesting for the continuity's sake. What is this team going to look like next year if Davis Webb, or after next year if Davis Webb does a good job play calling? And for, like I said, for Sean Payton, how is this going to change? Is this offense going to change that much? My prediction is it's not going to change drastically. I think we're going to see little schematic things. I think early in the season we're not going to see a whole bunch of things. We might start off rough, but as the season goes on, I think we're going to see them click more and more and more. And one thing that's underrated is the fact that there is no play calling tendency on Davis Webb. He's never been a play caller before. He's never been a coordinator before. So interested to see how that goes. But whatever. I've rambled long enough. Here's some pictures that I pulled and forgot to use of Davis Webb looking just fantastic. He looks like Andrew Luck right here, not gonna lie. And then also this picture, Sean Payton, the man, the myth, the legend. But if you like this video, like and subscribe to the channel. If you didn't like it, thank you for watching anyways and giving me views. And comment below, what do you think Davis Webb's record's going to be as a coordinator for the Broncos, calling the plays? What a crazy world we're in. Sean Payton giving a play calling.